All right, hey guys. So I'm going to start a multiple part series, and this one is going to start with kind of the pre-trip travel prep is what the theme of this video is going to be. So a little a little bit of a background on that. I'm getting ready to take off next week and be traveling up to the northwest to meet up with some family members. Stay in one location, do a little visiting, and then move to another location, which is a family retreat location, and camp out there for a few days. And so that's going to give me the opportunity not only to see a primary route to get to from my current home to there, do route recon type stuff, but it's also going to allow me to do some recon and some planning at the retreat location for hopefully near future building some sort of structure there for my family and I. So we have not only just a place for recreation, but a place for any possible scenario that you can think of to where we need to move out of our current location and retreat to there. So all right, so to get into some of the pre-planning, this is something I always do, especially any trip, pretty much anything over an hour to 2 hours, I usually do a little bit, and then of course beyond that I do fairly extensive. My personality, I like to plan. And so I usually start with maps. I've just recently bought these two. I have one for, Washington State, Nevada. I have 4 of these now. So I'd like to add in a few more. I like to have them for all the states kind of around where I live or places I go, because these are just excellent. The DeLorme makes a great book here. Their color, these ones are topographical, so they're good for people who like the backcountry. They're not just road atlases. So they have a lot of the Forest Service roads, all that good stuff that you need if you like to travel the backcountry. Now, granted, today a lot of us rely on GPSs or our smartphones with the GPS apps and whatnot on there, and of course then there's the in-vehicle GPS devices, and we all know with those devices there's potential for failure, batteries, just electronical failure of some nature, and loss of signal is a possibility in the backcountry. So it's something that you should always have at least a map as a backup, and don't just have it as a backup and stick it in your car. Prior to going on the trip, look over the route on the map, whether you're using it in a map book like this or you're sitting at your computer and you're looking at Google Maps or whatever map program you like to use. Check it out so that you kind of have that trip imprinted in your head, where you're going to go, what cities you're going to be traveling through, things like that, so that when you're just cruising along and your GPS device fails or loses signal or whatever, something like that, you're not just then you're pulling over and digging through the maps trying to figure out where the heck you need to go. So like I said, that's kind of maps versus GPS. I don't think you should focus on one or the other. I think you should use both, because both are great tools to navigate your way, to navigate yourself anywhere. A GPS I usually use as a primary, and maps as a backup. Granted, these are big and they don't really fit, like in your, they don't fit very well in like a bug out bag. I am going to go look for large Ziplocs at the store today to put them in there, just to protect them from the weather, dirt, dust, so on and so forth. That way, it'd be awesome to have, because they're a book, they'd be awesome if they were laminated or printed on, but I bet you there'd be a whole lot more. These are they range depending on the state. Don't know why, maybe because some states are bigger than others, more pages. They range between about $17 and $20 on Amazon is the best place I've found them. If you get them at like a truck stop or something like that, you're going to pay a whole lot more for them. So, all right. So then moving on, So while I'm traveling, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, going to do a little route recon on, alternate routes, possible alternate routes, fuel stops. How much fuel does it take me to get from here to there? And that's, of course, that's under normal driving conditions. But my vehicle is going to be fairly loaded down, so that will help me kind of. So what is my range of the vehicle in that condition, in that scenario? And then in addition here, I want to throw in there, and I'm not going to show you guys inside, sorry, but it's got a lot of personal information in it, and that I don't feel like I want to share. So I built a trip itinerary for each leg of the trip, which tells me where I've written the amount of miles between my fuel stops, what I'm considering my fuel stops now. Because of the areas I'm traveling across, you definitely have to plan your fuel stops, because you can get into areas there where if you skip a fuel stop, it might be 150 miles to the next one and you don't have enough fuel to make it. So something you should always do, in my opinion, or don't pass up a gas station, one or the other. Because a couple of my fuel stops are just top offs, because I also added in there, use the gasprices.com, or one of the Gas Buddy, I think .com is the one I use. I also have the app on my phone to check the average prices of gas in that area. And of course, when you get into some of the rural areas around America, gas can be as much as $1 more a gallon than it was if you would have just stopped in the last major city and topped off there, and then you don't even need to get gas there. So just something to consider. Save yourself some money. Helps me budget how much it's going to cost me in fuel to get there, so on and so forth. In addition to route recon, like I said, talking about fuel stops, that would tell me how much fuel I would either need to be carrying on me if there was no fuel available, however, whatever scenario you want to throw out there, or look at potential cache locations for fuel. Now that's a whole complex matter that I don't even know how I'm going to tackle that one, and I think I'll be better off to try to store additional fuel that I don't, I currently have only about 10 gallons in my current location, 5-gallon cans, which is not enough to get me all the way to where I need to go, if for some reason I couldn't get fuel there. So that's my scenario. I said I'll make this a multiple part series, try to wrap this up to where, I'll cover some of my travel footage in there. Of course, I probably won't have a whole lot of internet connectivity while I'm gone, so I'll be probably posting these videos when I get back. Thanks for watching. Hey, don't forget to subscribe, provide me feedback, positive, negative, just make it constructive. Appreciate you watching. This is Nomad 76.